Good morning. Today is August the 1st. Time is 9 o'clock. The Board of Commissioners is in session to conduct its weekly open business meeting. Commissioner Daly is absent, Commissioner Davidson is here. So we have a quorum to conduct business. I'd like to have everybody introduce themselves so we can have it for the record.
Michael Gudio, Timber Creek Recycling.
Sean Rain, paramedics.
Bob Carney, Operations.
Bethany Callie, HR.
Kathleen Graves, Auditor's Office.
Richard Beck, Development Services.
Brad Smith, Assessor.
Elizabeth Duncan, Communications.
IT guy.
Trent Triple, Ada County Clerk.
Al Perkins, Ada County Procurement.
Beth Mon, Treasurer.
Okay, Madam Clerk, are there any changes to the agenda?
No, sir.
All right, I'll accept a motion to remove the unfinished business from the table.
Well, Mr. Chair, I move to remove the unfinished business from the table for consideration.
I'll second the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioner. Before you this morning, under unfinished business, we have 3 items. The first of which is the final ranking and award recommendation for RFP 23026, the Ada County Landfill Diversion Services for Fibrous Materials Processing. And the evaluation team has completed the evaluation of the 2 proposals and would like to submit an award recommendation letter for your consideration.
If you could read the letter.
I'd be happy to. It's a letter dated August 1st, 2023 to the Board of Ada County Commissioners from Ada County Procurement regarding RFP 23026. Dear members of the board, the Evaluation Committee has evaluated the responses for RFP 23026. The final ranking of qualified candidates was determined by evaluation scoring. The final rankings in order of evaluation scoring are as follows. Number 1, Timber Creek Recycling LLC with a score of 90.11. And number 2, Treetop Recycling Incorporated with a score of 51.33. It is the recommendation of the evaluation group to award the contract for RFP 23026 to Timber Creek Recycling LLC as the number 1 ranked proposer.
Okay. I'll accept the motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to accept the final rankings and recommendation of the Evaluation Committee and award RFP 23026, Ada County Landfill Diversion Services for Fibrous Materials Processing to, one more time,
Timber Creek Recycling LLC.
Timber Creek Recycling LLC.
Okay, I'll second the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Go ahead.
All right. Our second item under unfinished business is the final ranking and award recommendation for RFP 23050, the Ada County Landfill Diversion Services for concrete and rubble processing. And the evaluation team for this project is still in the evaluation process and would like to request to retable the final ranking and award recommendation to the August 8th, 2023 open business meeting.
Okay, I'll accept the motion.
I move to table the final rankings and award recommendation for RFP 23050, Ada County Landfill Diversion Services for concrete and rubble processing to August 28th, 2023.
Excuse me, August 8th.
Oh, August 8th, 2023.
Okay, I'll second the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
All right, our last item under unfinished business is the final ranking and award recommendation for RFP 23062, the Ada County Custodial Services for Ada County Courthouse, Civic Plaza offices, and parking garage faces of Hope Victim Center, Juvenile Services, and select landfill buildings. Mr. Chairman, Commissioner, the evaluation team for this project has completed the evaluation of the 4 proposals and was prepared to make an award recommendation today, but we received a protest from Automated Maintenance Services in response to the award recommendation. Therefore, we'd like to retable the award recommendation to August 8th, 2023 open business meeting for further consideration. In the meantime, we will meet with you soon to discuss the protest and whether that protest has merit or not. But this is the protest submitted.
Okay,
Is that our current, that's not our current vendor, is it?
It is not for these locations.
What's, our current vendor is who?
KBRS?
KBS.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they didn't submit a They didn't submit an offer.
They
or,
did not, no, they
yeah.
did not submit a bid for this project.
Okay, well, I'll accept the motion to delay, table this till the 8th.
Mr. Chair, I move to table the final rankings and award recommendation for RFP 23062, Ada County Custodial Services for Ada County Courthouse, Civic Plaza offices, parking garage, Faces of Hope Victim Center, Juvenile Services, and select landfill buildings to August 8th, 2023.
Okay, I'll second the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thanks,
Would
Commissioners.
this allow KBS to submit a bid now, or we're
No,
locked into
no.
who is submitted and we just deal with the protest?
Yeah, we're just dealing with the protest at this point in time. We did get the 4 proposals received. The evaluation committee has reviewed those, and those are the only ones under consideration.
All
All
right.
right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, moving on, we have a public hearing. I'll open the public hearing on the adoption of a fiscal year 2023-24 tentative budget. Would you like to say a few words? before we get
I'm
the
happy
motion?
to tee up the budget for your consideration, and we're happy with the process that we've gone through. I think we've got a lot of positive feedback from quite a few folks. Haven't received, there's been 1 or 2 inquiries about specific questions, but none of them controversial. Just asking for additional information on the budget we presented, so far we feel pretty good about it.
Have you had a lot of hits on the tools prepared?
We may have, I don't
don't
monitor, we do monitor those, but I don't personally look at them. I'd have to
I
find
just
out.
wondered if very many people are looking at
Yeah.
it, because it's sure a detailed, program, people can figure out everything they wanna figure out about the budget.
I know the media has looked at it because the coverage that has been to date, there's been information in those articles and coverage that was not presented verbally, so they had to be in there looking at it in order to get some of that information. So it's good.
Alright,
Pursuant to Idaho Code 31-1604, I'm presenting a balanced budget for the ensuing fiscal year. And as the board, you are convened to agree on a tentative amount per office and department for FY 23-24 tentative budget. That budget number is $346,135,543. Turn over to the board for a motion.
okay. Well, I'm glad that it's a balanced budget. Of course, we're required by law to balance the budget, so,
Yes, sir.
unlike some governments. Alright, do we have a motion?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I will move to consider and publish the tentative budget for all Ada County funds and the pest and mosquito abatement districts as submitted by the county budget officer, causing a notice to be published setting forth anticipated revenue, property taxes, and proposed expenditures, and stating that the Board of County Commissioners held a public hearing for comment and feedback on June 14th at 5 p.m. and held another public hearing on July 25th at 6 p.m., at which time all the county funds and the pest and mosquito district's requests were reviewed, and will subsequently fix a final budget and make appropriations to each office or department of the county and the pest and mosquito districts at the August 15th, 2023 open business meeting.
Alright, I'll second the motion. And I might add that this is a requirement of the law that we adopt a tentative budget. And the budget can still change if we choose to, but it can only go down, it can't go up. So, and I don't think we'll be have any requests for that.
Not from internally, probably.
Yeah, I don't think we will, but that's the only change that can be made at this point, until the final adoption of the budget. Okay, you have any comments you'd like to make?
Just that it's good to get through another budget year, and it was great working with the clerk and everyone else and on staff who made it a good experience. And I think we're doing good for the taxpayers.
Well, I agree. So, all in favor of adopting the tentative budget, say aye. Aye.
Right?
We've adopted the tentative budget. Thank you. All right, we're in procurement now.
Yes. Mr. Chairman, Commissioner, the evaluation team for RFP 23061, Ada County Emergency Generator Service, has completed the evaluations of the 3 proposals and would like to submit an award recommendation letter for your consideration.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, letter dated August 1st, 2023 to the Board of Ada County Commissioners from Ada County Procurement regarding RFP 23061. Dear members of the board, the evaluation committee has evaluated the responses for RFP 23061. Final ranking of qualified candidates was determined by evaluation scoring. The final rankings in order of evaluation scoring are as follows. Number 1, Legacy Power Systems with a score of 101.67. Number 2, Energy Management Corporation with a score of 55.67. And number 3, Power Systems West was non-responsive. So therefore, it is the recommendation of the evaluation group to award the contract for RFP 23061 to Legacy Power Systems as the number 1 ranked proposer.
Okay, any questions? Hearing none, is there a motion?
Mr. Chair, I move to accept recommendation of the evaluation committee and award RFP 23061, Ada County Emergency Generator Service to Legacy Power Systems.
Okay, I'll second the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thanks, Commissioners.
Thank you. All right, now we have licensing, including 2 catering permits and event. Okay. Is there a motion on the licenses?
I move to approve the licenses as listed on the agenda, including 2 catering permits, and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
Okay, I'll second the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, next up, we have with us our distinguished clerk.
Mr. Chair, Commissioner, I was just talking with Judy before the meeting started. It'd be nice to have a week or two where things are just day-to-day normal operations. But it seems elusive, although I was grateful we did not have an August election. But we are closing up, obviously, the budget. Within the next 2 weeks, we'll have that finalized. We have user acceptance testing for the new financial system that's starting next week.
Starts next week.
And then we're meeting with the Supreme Court Chief Justice a week from this Friday to talk about their support of IT within the courtrooms. We're having some more issues bubble up that have caused quite a bit of consternation amongst judges and clerks alike. So that'll be something that will be coming to a head.
Are they gonna fix it?
I don't know. We'll see.
Is it with their software or ours?
It's software, it's equipment, it's support, it's all of the above. There's quite a few things that they're proposing that the clerks across the state don't agree with. We've sent a collective letter to the Chief Justice, and therefore he's agreed to meet with us. If that doesn't go the way we want, then we may be meeting with Representative Skog and Senator Lakey on the judicial committees to apply a little more pressure. But always something fun around the corner to deal with. But the fun thing that I can report on, and we've talked about it extensively over the last little while, is, and it's not fun because she's leaving. I'm sure it's fun for her for the next departure, but Kathleen Graves, this is her last open business meeting with the county. She will be retiring this Friday. And there will be a nice little gathering that we'll have Friday. All are invited to come show her off in style. Although she doesn't need it, she's a very stylish person to begin with, and has great plans for the future, but we're grateful for all that she's done for us and the county. So thank you, Kathleen.
Yes. So you haven't changed your mind then?
No.
Well, would you like to say anything?
No, it's just been a pleasure, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. It's been a pleasure working for Ada County, working for you, all the elected officials, department heads. I mean, it's gone so fast. It's crazy how fast it's gone. And you've got a very good group of people here in the county.
Well, I want you to know, I met with the director of the Division of Financial Management last week, and he told me, do you know Kathleen Graves? I said, well, yeah. Apparently, there's some counties didn't know how to fill out their CARES report.
Oh, yes.
And he said Kathleen figured it out real quick. Ada County had already filled it out correct, but you figured out what was wrong, figured it out fast, so you're getting raves all across the state.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, that was a surprise. Like, I thought that was behind us. All of a sudden.
Yeah, CARES is 2 or 3 years old.
Back.
But apparently it was a report that some other counties hadn't done correctly. They couldn't figure out where it was, and you figured it out fast.
I know.
Way to go. Thank you, you represent Ada County well, we appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yes.
Mr.
Okay.
Chair, just a few other things for the month of August. I will be out quite a bit of it. I'm taking some personal time as well as some conferences for clerks up in Salmon later this month. And at the end of the month, Saul and I will be graduating from the National Certification for Election Officials in Orlando. So there'll be a handful of people in Idaho that have that certification, and
So we can actually have elections in Idaho?
well, we can always have elections. This is just
This
an
is
added
certification.
certification that allows
Good.
us to coordinate with other jurisdictions, and we kind of are the people that folks will come to when they have questions about how to run elections, which would be good. We like that expertise here in Ada County. So
Well, good.
Katie will represent the clerk's office on the 15th when you adopt the final budget.
Okay,
So that's all from the clerk's office.
that's all from the clerk's office. Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next up, we have the Claims Journal. I'll accept the motion on the Claims Journal.
I move to authorize payment of claims on the Claims Journal dated July 31st, 2023.
I'll second the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion adopted. We have personnel actions. I'll accept the motion on some personnel actions.
And Mr. Chair, I move to approve the personnel actions as listed on the agenda and that the summary sheet remain on file in the Commissioner's office.
I'll second the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Well, next up, we have Assessor's Office. Oh, you're not the assessor.
Chief Deputy, close
Chief
enough.
Deputy Clerk, that's good, yeah.
So, yeah, good morning. I'd just like to say thanks to Kathleen. I know over the years I've brought many problems to her, and especially with our DMV, and she's always found solutions for us. And it's just really appreciate having someone there that works with us, and it's just always there. So appreciate that. In regards to our office, our appraisers are jumping in. We have about 45,000 parcels we'll be physically reappraising this upcoming year. And when I say physical reappraisal, that doesn't mean we go into the properties, but we do drive-bys, basically driving down the street, viewing them from the public view. And BTAs have started, Board of Tax Appeals have started rolling in, so those will be keeping us busy too. So, and no tax cancellations today.
Really?
Ever have an issue with somebody not liking the fact that you drove by their house or took a picture of it?
Yeah, we have the police called quite a bit, and we try to put our license plates with the appraisers so that they have a register of vehicles. So if somebody calls it in, basically it's tied to that plate, so that helps out. But we do occasionally get people running out of houses, yelling and screaming, and when you're taking a picture of somebody's house, you can't blame them. I mean, that's their house, even though we're taking it from a public view, so it's illegal. They just want to know what's going on. So they come out, and it gives the appraiser an opportunity to kind of educate them, and that's also the person that's usually kind of the chatty Cathy of the neighborhood. So it works out good, because the whole neighborhood will know that we're doing a reappraisal pretty quickly after that. So, but they are kind of used to that behavior. It doesn't happen all the time, but we've had.
When they're doing an area, do they just take a picture of every house in the area?
Correct. Yep. So they'll drive through. Cameras have got a lot smaller, and they can even use it with their tablets. But we used to have big binocular-looking cameras, and those would cause a lot of problems. But yeah, they'll drive through the neighborhood and take pictures of every property.
Maybe you just hire Google, they just drive around and take.
Yeah. So yeah, we can. Yeah, there's definitely some different options.
Yeah.
Some of the appraisers have actually put dash cams on the side, and they can drive down the street, and then they can just snip out the photos of that way they can get the best angle and stuff. So some of the appraisers have gotten pretty creative, but we do, by law, we have to
Take a picture.
take a
Physically.
picture of our own.
And
No,
visible, yeah.
no,
Okay, well, anything else?
that's it.
All right. How's your appeal, the assessor's appeal to the Or tax bills, has that been decided yet?
No, that has not, so it'll probably be another month or two
Okay.
before that decision comes up, but we'll keep you posted.
Well, good luck.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we have with us our distinguished treasurer.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Commissioner.
Hi.
I would also like to congratulate Kathleen on her upcoming retirement, and thank her for her years of service. Our treasurer's office works so closely with the clerk's office, especially Kathleen. She's always been available, knowledgeable. Big shoes to fill. She's gonna be missed. But I also note that I am happy that there's very talented individuals there who will be picking up some of that void there. Not the same, but I'm happy that there's other people to help us there, so. Other than that, it's business as usual in the treasurer's office, first day of the month, so doing what we do, balancing and reconciling the accounts. I'll also be out for a bit at the treasurer's conference. The big
Is that also
topic.
on Salmon?
No, it's not. It's in McCall, and the big topic there for the treasurers will be preparing to implement House Bill 292 property tax relief this November. So starting to pull together all those pieces to pull that off this fall.
Well, good, I'm sure you get your work cut out for you on that one.
Certainly do.
Yeah. If it can be complicated, they can figure out a way to do it. Okay, anything else?
That's it.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, next up, I'll accept a motion on the approval of the minutes.
I move to approve the minutes as identified on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
I'll second the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we have an interim event and a couple of commercial exhibitors for the Expo Idaho. I'll accept a motion.
Mr. Chair, I move to approve one interim event agreement and 3 commercial exhibitor agreements as listed on the agenda, and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
I'll second the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Okay, we have 4 Barber Park and Education Event Center contracts. I'll accept the motion.
I move to approve for Barber Park Education and Event Center agreements as listed on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
I'll second the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay, last up, we have one agreement. Agreement number 15099-123. I'll accept the motion.
I move to approve the one agreement as listed on the agenda, agreement 15099-1-23.
Okay, I'll second the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Lastly, we have the indigent services, weekly indigent items.
Mr. Chair, I will move to accept the recommendations of the indigent services staff as listed on the summary of cases dated August 1st, 2023, and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
And I'll second the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Well, that gets us to the end of our agenda. Is there anything else needs to be brought up? Okay. With that, we'll adjourn for Kathleen's final OBM. We're adjourned. Thank you. Well, good morning. Today is the first day of August. Time is, I don't know what the time is. I'm gonna look.
9:27.
9:27. I have to get that clock back up. Time is 9:27. The board is in session as the Board of County Emergency Medical Services District. Both Commissioner Davidson and I are here. Commissioner Daly's gone. Would you identify yourself so we know who's here?
Kathleen Graves, Auditor's Office.
Sean Rain, paramedics.
Elizabeth Duncan,
Oh,
communications,
sorry,
sorry.
Alright. We got a clerk over here.
A triple Ada County Clerk.
Okay. Madam Clerk, are there any changes to the agenda?
No, sir.
Okay. I guess we need to open a public hearing on the adoption of the 2023, 2024 tentative budget for the Medical Services District. The public hearing is open.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, as discussed in the previous OBM pursuant to Idaho Code 31-1604, I'm presenting a balanced budget for the ensuing fiscal year, and you as a board are convened to agree on a tentative amount per department for the FY 23-24 tentative budget. The tentative budget for Emergency Medical Services District is $27,987,315. Do you have the motion?
I do.
Okay.
Okay. Is there any questions or discussions?
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Davidson, I'd just like to say, this year, the budget process for my department was tough. It's a tight budget, really focused on personnel. We really had to limit our expenditures in B budgets, certainly. But I can't thank my staff enough for the work that they do. Certainly Stacy, as everybody knows, she's kind of the queen of our budget as our budget officer, and it was a lot of work that people put into it, and a lot of things that people wanted for next year that frankly we just couldn't support in the budget. So some things we'll have to do in the future that we couldn't do next year, but again, it was really focused on personnel.
Maybe when you get all that Medicaid money, you can put them back in the budget.
That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping.
Okay. Alright, thanks, Sean.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? I'll accept a motion.
Well, Mr. Chair, I move to consider and publish the tentative budget for the Emergency Medical Services District, hereinafter referred to as the EMS District, as submitted by the County Budget Officer, causing a notice to be published setting forth anticipated revenue, property taxes, and proposed expenditures, and stating that the Board of County Commissioners held a public hearing for comment and feedback on June 14th at 5 p.m., and held another public hearing on July 25th at 6 p.m., at which time the EMS district requests were reviewed and will subsequently file a final budget and make appropriations to the EMS district at the August 15th, 2023 EMS open business meeting.
Okay, I'll second the motion. Any other discussion? Hearing none, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thank you. I will open the public hearing on resolution number 2892. A resolution adjusting the Ada County budget to reflect the receipt of unscheduled revenue to the Ada County Emergency Medical Services District budget. Is there any discussion?
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Davidson, this is a grant from the Idaho EMS Bureau called the Lifesaver Grant. And this was actually two separate grants that round one, they didn't exhaust all the funds, so we went back and applied again in round two and got more funds. These funds are being used to purchase video laryngoscopy devices where in the past we had a laryngoscope that we would use that had a little light on the end of it. You would open the person's airway and you could actually see their vocal cords with that little light. Now we still have that, but we also have a little video screen that improves the efficacy of placing that airway tube in the correct position. Obviously, if we don't do that correctly, it's not going to be a good outcome. So And this is the kind of the standard of care now for the industry and for anesthesiologists to use this video laryngoscopy. So that's what we're going to be using that grant money for.
Do you have to find volunteers to practice that on?
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Davidson, unfortunately, no. We do have some pretty amazing mannequins. If you guys remember when you went on the tour, the anatomy is identical to a human. We do, paramedics do go into the OR and intubate patients when they're going through their training. But we've had to rely more and more on mannequins as time has gone by because there are just so many people trying to get those spots in the OR to intubate a live human being. So it's a difficult skill, but once you learn it and learn it well, then it's something that can be done fairly easily and definitely saves lives.
Okay. Any other discussion? I'll close the public hearing on resolution number 2892. Ask for a motion.
I move to approve resolution number 2892 as listed on the agenda.
I'll second the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. I'll accept a motion on the claims journal.
I move to authorize payment of claims as listed on the claims journal dated July 31st, 2023 regarding EMS expenditures.
I'll second the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Approval of the minutes.
I move to approve the minutes as identified on the agenda and authorize the chair to sign the documents on behalf of the board.
I'll second the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Okay. This is the best part of the agenda. AMS update.
Yes, Mr. Chair, Commissioner Davidson. First, I'll start off. COVID, unfortunately, we're seeing a surge just within our own personnel in our department right now. We've had a little spike in COVID cases. I can't tell you what variant it is. The predominant variant in Boise City wastewater as of July 10th was XBB 1.5.
XBB 0.1.5.
Right.
I thought it was XAB.
I think it's XB. But this is the one that, if you recall, can cause pink eye. One thing we're seeing that's a little bit different with this is some more nausea and vomiting associated with being sick, where in the past it was mostly fatigue and respiratory and fever and that kind of thing. So we're just going to do our due diligence and try to stay safe and encourage people, if they get sick, stay home. Test. We still have tests available to us. So little COVID spike, and that was anticipated. I think I've read several things that said that we would have a spike kind of late summer, and then they think we'll have another surge probably in the winter. But the good thing is that as time has gone by, most of these new variants tend to be milder in nature. So we'll just have to keep our eye on that. We are gearing up for flu vaccines. We'll be doing those in October this year. In the past, we've gone out to very many different locations this year because we're going to be short on personnel to be able to staff flu clinics. We're going to have one big clinic here in the courthouse, one at Barrister, and then one at my facility, so that you can get all those folks that are out in different areas to come in and get their flu shot. And of course, if they can't get it from us, they can go to their own doctor's office and get that. Our community paramedic program is back in service. They are out doing their community paramedic work, and we have been working with Chief Weiniger with the Boise Police Department and the Sheriff's Office to encourage those law enforcement officers to call us when they have somebody that is having a mental crisis, so that we can divert them around the ER and directly to a mental facility, or keep them at home with the safety plan. So that seems like the awareness of that has risen pretty quickly, and the officers are calling for our what is known as ALS 81, the community paramedic team. Right now we have one community paramedic on each of our shifts on A, B, and C shifts, so that program is back in service, which is a good thing. There's one, in the EMS Sustainability Task Force at the state level, that draft language continues to be fleshed out. The last addition to that was a bit of funding that would be held under the EMS Bureau and what they would call a Fund 4. And that would, we haven't identified a funding source yet, but at least we have a place for it to go. Some feedback that we've already gotten from some legislators, though, is because the EMS Bureau is housed under DHW, that they're concerned that creating another fund under the Department of Health and Welfare will fall flat on its face. And I don't know what to do with that, because that's where the EMS Bureau lives for the time being. There has been some talk about actually moving the EMS Bureau, the Fire Marshal, and the Idaho Office of Emergency Management out of IOEMs under the Military Division. EMS Bureau is under DHW, and the Fire Marshal is actually in the Department of Insurance, which is kind of a strange place for it to be. And taking those three agencies and consolidating them under like a public safety division for the state. You run into some constitutional issues because the governor can only have so many, I don't know if they're called cabinet members, but agencies that report directly to the governor. So we're just trying to work through some of those issues. But that's where we're at with the task force, and we continue to meet monthly as a whole task force, and then we have subcommittees that are meeting every other week to continue doing this work. So that's all I have today.
How's your negotiation coming with health and welfare for your
Medicaid?
distribution? No, not Medicaid,
Oh.
the distribution.
Uh,
The distribution of the Narcan stuff.
Oh, it's, I did have a conversation with our attorney last week, and it sounds like the state doesn't want to give us indemnification, but he did give Dayton a load of case law to look at to allay his fears, I guess. So we'll see how those negotiations continue. Yep.
All right. Anything else we need to take up?
No, sir.
All right. Thank you.
Thank
We'll be
you.
adjourned.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you.